The focus of both presidential campaigns has now shifted to the devastation left behind by Hurricane Helene. Right now, former President Trump, he is on his way to a Georgia town hit hard by the storm, while Vice President Harris has cut her campaigning short to get a briefing on the federal response. Harris's change in plans comes after Trump criticized her for holding fundraising and campaign events over the weekend, while thousands were dealing with the aftermath of Helene. So NewsNation's Kelly Meyer joins us live from the White House with the very latest on this. And Kelly, Hurricane Helene turning political at this point.
Yeah, that's right, Nicole. Hurricane Helene turning into a political storm with the 2024 presidential candidates bringing it into the campaign. Former President Trump set to visit storm-ravaged Georgia today as Vice President Harris is making her way back here to Washington for a FEMA briefing later on this evening. And we're also hearing from the White House that President Joe Biden is set to visit affected communities later this week. President Joe Biden addressing the administration's response to the storm earlier this morning, and he pledged to visit those impacted areas. Take a listen.
I'm committed to traveling to the impacted areas as soon as possible, but I've been told that it would be disruptive if I did it right now. We will not do that at the risk of diverting or delaying any of the response assets needed to deal with this crisis. My first responsibility is to get all the help needed to those impacted areas. And I expect to be there, excuse me, I have a cold, I expect to be there later this week.
President Biden added that he spent 2 hours on the phone last night speaking with North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, and other officials across impacted areas. Nicole.
All right, and Kelly, the former president will be in Georgia today visiting an area hit hard, but he is slamming the Biden administration and the response to this storm. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, over the weekend on the campaign trail in battleground Pennsylvania, former President Trump criticized both Harris and President Biden's response to the storm. Take a listen to this.
They raise a lot of money from bad people, fundraising events with their radical left lunatic donors, when big parts of our country have been devastated by that massive hurricane and is underwater with many, many people dead. She ought to be here. She ought to be down in the area where she should be. That's what she's getting paid for, right? That's what she's getting paid for. So he's at home sleeping in one of his many estates, and she's in San Francisco.
So President Biden returned early from Rehoboth Beach, where he was this weekend, to the White House to get updates on this. And Vice President Harris cut her campaign travel short. She was in San Francisco, L.A., and Las Vegas over the weekend. She is now making her way back to Washington for a FEMA briefing this evening. Harris posted this Sunday night on her way back that she was briefed on the latest developments by the FEMA administrator and spoke to North Carolina Governor Cooper on the ongoing rescue efforts in North Carolina. Governor Cooper saying the catastrophic devastation to western North Carolina is unlike anything they have ever seen. The FEMA administrator is also going to be in North Carolina today. And we know President Biden approved major disaster declarations for the states of Florida and North Carolina. That means that people impacted can immediately access funds and resources, but there is still concern over getting assistance to those areas. FEMA tells us people in 17 counties in Florida and 25 counties in North Carolina can apply for assistance with FEMA. Nicole.
Yeah, and a lot of help certainly needed right now. All right, Kelly Meyer live for us in D.C. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.